Everybody, welcome to the show today. President Trump says it is time for Senate Republicans to play their Trump card, everybody. This is what we've been waiting for. He said, go for what is called the nuclear option. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been saying this the entire time, everybody, and now Trump is saying it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. He said to get rid of the filibuster, get rid of it now. The Democrats have gone crazy, and this is where Trump is saying play the biggest card you can and get rid of the filibuster. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because this could change everything. If they only need 51 votes in the Senate to get anything done, this could be voter ID across all federal elections. This could be just massive change for MAGA first policies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The DOJ, listen to this, everybody. Oh my goodness. The DOJ has just launched an investigation into the leaders of Black Lives Matter for potentially defrauding donors out of tens of millions of dollars. You can't make this stuff up. All of the BLM leaders, before BLM, they had nothing, and then after, living in mansions, living in huge houses, and now they're being investigated by the DOJ. And again, if there's anything that the government shutdown has exposed, is that how much is corrupt and how much people are on SNAP, Medicaid, all these things that shouldn't even be there. 90,000, everybody, 90,000 non-citizens in America are now losing access to SNAP welfare benefits under President Trump's new policies. So again, when they talk about where's the money at, don't have any money, we are finding time and time again, non-citizens, illegal aliens are getting benefits like nobody's business. Also, what has come out? During the Biden administration border crisis of just allowing the invasion of people into the United States, Democrats, this is going to make you upset, everybody, especially if you receive SNAP. Democrats gave illegal aliens 40% more money for food than Americans on SNAP. Newly found evidence has shown that struggling Americans are being used as leverage for demand for free health care for illegals amidst the government shutdown. During the Biden administration, illegals were given on average $12.52 a day versus American citizens were given $7.59 per day for the SNAP recipients. How is it that, again, we're throwing this in the face of everybody that is not America first, to every America last person? You cannot justify in any way, form, or fashion that you give 40% more to a person who just came into the United States, is not even a citizen, than to your own citizens of your country. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate and love this news, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Guys, this is big. We are exposing it time and time again. Trump is saying to play the Trump card, nuke the filibuster, put America first, get things done, and this is what we're here for. Federal prosecutors, again, have just thwarted with Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, have just thwarted a terrorist attack that was planned for Halloween weekend, but our FBI got in there, is protecting our American citizens and making sure that everybody is safe. We're hearing that new news of Senate Democrats look to end the federal government shutdown, likely after Tuesday's election. Oh, this is coming from a left-wing news outlet that says they have insider news, and I wouldn't doubt it. It's all politics to them, trying to make it look like the Democrats are the answer to everything. We also have it where Homeland Security has just announced that, again, there is no evidence, no record that Joe Biden played any role in authorizing auto-pen pardons for Dr. Fauci, the Biden family, Adam Schiff, and the January 6th committee. All should be declared null and void by the DOJ. Again, we are bringing the receipts. I love this, everybody, because time and time again, the gaslighting, the lying, the propaganda that has swayed this country for 5 years to try to believe something that wasn't there is now being exposed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. This is a big win for us today. We need to get this in, so we put America first always. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you to everybody that is supporting our channel. If you're not a part of the family yet, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button. Thank you to everybody that supports us in your giving through being a member or through a super chat donation. We're so thankful to everybody that supports us. Remember, we partner with you in the giving. When you give a super chat, you're a member. On the 22nd of every single month, we're donating live on stream to a local charity with your support. And I show you the receipt, guys. This is what it's all about. We are changing lives through this channel, bringing the truth, bringing the receipts, and helping out those innocent, especially those kids that live in a children's home that don't have anybody. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting the thumbs up like button, I am so excited for this. Not only is Trump saying to play the Trump card, nuke the filibuster, the DOJ is investigating the BLM for defrauding donors out of almost $90 million. $90 million. And also 90,000 non-citizens in America are now losing access to SNAP welfare benefits. 90,000 non-citizens. You cannot make this up. What Trump is doing and how he is working to save this country is insane right now. Everything that he's bringing to the table, America First policies, big time. Listen to this, everybody, because I'm telling you, this is always America First on Trump's watch. Check this out.
Whose fault's that, Hips? Trump just came home with peace deals and trillions in new business. What have Dens done besides shut down the government? Fetterman's not mad. He's disappointed.
As a Democrat, I am incredibly, I've been disappointed, and I refuse to have a political gamble that's going to put those kinds of food security for 42 million Americans at risk on this. Now, some people might be afraid of the extreme left, but I am not one. I am not one of those Dems.
Maybe Democrats are mad that Trump was lavished with special gifts by all his new friends. The South Koreans literally drenched him in gold. Mr. President, can we offer you this beautiful golden necklace?
It is really beautiful. I'd like to wear it right now. Thank you so much. We'll cherish it.
It was a nice gesture, but Trump had his eyes on something else, the golden crown. And they asked, Mr. President, may we do the honor?
The Cheonachong gold crown symbolizes the divine connection between the authority of the heavens and sovereignty on earth. That symbolizes the spirit of Shilla, which brought peace to the Korean peninsula for the first time, and the opening of the golden age of the Korea-U.S. alliance.
The divine connection between the heavens and sovereignty on earth. Wow. Are the South Koreans calling Trump the new Messiah? Not even Barry got a crown. And the South Koreans just gave this president a crown to a dynasty that goes back to the 1st century BC.
Wow. Let me tell you this. It just shows you, everybody, and the reason I'm showing you this is just think about how much Trump is making an impact. And it's easier for him to make a deal with China's Xi Jinping, with South Korea, all these, Japan, all these other countries. He's making a deal with them. But when it comes to our own country, people that despise America First policies, and now Trump is saying, forget them. It is now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Everybody in the world gets it. Trump's policies are helping everybody to win, except the Democrats. Trump's policies are moving America forward, growing our economy. We literally just had a vote where four Republicans sided with Democrats to literally block Trump's tariffs. And guess what? It is going to fail right here. Five. But it's going to fail in the House because Mike Johnson already said they're going to block it. But when you look at Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, Rand Paul, and Lisa Murkowski, four. These four voted with Democrats to terminate Trump's global tariffs. Now, thank God we have the House where they're going to block it, but this is insane to think how much of an impact the tariffs have made in helping to pay for the military, bringing us to more free, fair trade. And yet we have these rhinos that are just against America First policies no matter what. This is insane. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, thank you so much for your support. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. This is big, everybody. This just shows you how much of a difference Trump is making across the board when it comes to all the SNAP benefits, all the things that are happening. Listen to this, because I'm telling you, it is insane what we are seeing and exposing.
Controversial, but not unpopular, I don't think, because that's what we do here. But perhaps that person is in that position because of their own decisions and should make better life choices. I hear the military is recruiting. Join there would give you immediate access to food, shelter, even education benefits. But I think the government shutdown has actually woken a lot of people up to this level of entitlement and abuse. I mean, we always kind of knew it, but, you know, it's also really poorly managed. It's a really badly organized program. And Adam Carolla kind of also noted something as well.
The average female who gets no free food from the government is 146 pounds. The average SNAP recipient is 211 pounds.
And I thought, he's got a good point. We live in a country, only country in the world, where the primary health concern among poor people is obesity.
That's bad.
Y'all ain't hear me. They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Find somebody to
Holy
big stop.
smokes.
Okay, bad attitude aside, the only thing this has made more apparent than anything else, which RFK has been warning us about for a while now, is how upside down the program is. There's like Pringles and stuff on the counter there. SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Keyword, nutrition and assistance.
Yeah.
Let's go to the nutrition part. Why are highly processed junk foods available under a program with nutrition in the name? The irony here is that by feeding people this junk, they get less healthy, like the woman I just showed you. I'm
Right
willing
there.
to bet she's probably also on some sort of government health care subsidy program as well. So
I want to show you this, everybody. Again, it's all intentional. The more unhealthy food that people can eat, the more that they need to go to the doctor, the more that Big Pharma wins, the more that the healthcare wins, Obama, all this stuff, Obamacare, all this stuff, it's tied in together. But again, always, even no matter what, Trump says put America first. 90,000 non-citizens in America are now losing access to SNAP welfare benefits under President Trump's new policies. No matter what, putting America first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is big. What did the Democrats say? There's nobody that's not a citizen that is not getting these benefits. Only for taxpayers, only for citizens. How was the Trump administration able to find 90,000 people, everybody? Jim Barbado, let's go with the super chat. I love it. Show our boy Jim some love in the chat, everybody. OG of the channel, let's go. Nellie Donnelly, welcome to the family. Show Nellie some love in the chat, as well as our boy Robert Cash said, God bless all of you and your family. Amen. Show Robert some love in the chat, as well as our friend Goober388. Thank you so much for your support. El Prophet, appreciate you so much. Show El Prophet some love in the chat. And our boy Richard, PDX67, said, love the True Life News family. Let's go. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Richard, for your support. This is big, everybody. Everything that you're seeing, any excuse that they can get right now, the Democratic side is exposing themselves as violence. There's so much violence coming over. Listen to this.
It's hard to explain how viral all of this has gone in the last few days, but it appears a large contingent of SNAP recipients are almost excited to loot this weekend. Grocery stores, Walmarts, anything they can get their hands on, 7-Elevens, whatever it is. This has exploded on social media, and it's putting Democrats in a very tough spot. For starters, their plan to blame all of this, the shutdown, on Republicans has totally backfired. Republican polling has gone up this past month. Nobody is buying the Democrat narrative.
When are we going to start looting the stores?
Listen to this.
Because I was stealing before. Now it's full-blown theft. Because what the you mean no food stamps?
Y'all was clutching y'all purses before. This gonna be the time that you need to clutch him. Y'all was doing that all that long time.
More of y'all should have started taking from the corporations a long time ago. Y'all just didn't have that on bones. Get out there and get in the field like I told you.
Do you see this, everybody? Like, this is literally what we're exposing right now as the government is being shut down. Again, Trump is saying, go forward. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this the right move to make? Because this would change everything. There is so much the Republicans can get done if they play the Trump card and go for the nuclear option, nuke the filibuster, get rid of it so that we can reopen the government and put America back on track. Because again, with it only needing a simple majority, 51 votes in the Senate, and having the majority in the House, we could change a lot of things for America first. The only bad part is if Democrats win the midterms or if they win in 2028 presidential election, this could look not very good. But I truly believe that if we were able to get the nuclear option just done, get rid of the filibuster, enact a law, codify a law into law where we can have voter ID across the board, we would have such a massive wave, massive red wave for a long, long time, because I believe that's truly what America is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is big. Tammy Ash, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, on behalf of my special needs son, my donation to your charity, thank you for sharing the truth. Amen. Thank you so much, Tammy Ash. You don't know how much it means to us that you support us through this giving and us helping out the children. We pray and bless you and your son, and pray that y'all are blessed. God, thank you so much for your support. Y'all show Tammy Ash some love in the chat, everybody. This is big. I'm so thankful because, again, as we bring the truth and we expose all this craziness, it is getting to the point where so many federal lawmakers are fed up. Listen to this.
Time though, I want to go to Arctic Frost. You're the first one really to bring this up. The revelations since you came on are actually jaw-dropping. They get worse every day. Where in the hell are we going on this thing, sir?
Well, we need a full-scale investigation, Steve. You know, I continue to believe we need a special prosecutor who is 100% dedicated to figuring out what in the world the Biden DOJ and FBI were doing. The more we learn, the worse it gets. 92 conservative organizations targeted. Now we know that they went after even more phone records. They tapped my phone. They tapped the phones of 7 other senators. Looks like they also now went after conservative organizations like the Republican Attorneys General. I mean, it was a dragnet. It was a massive witch hunt, all with the goal of trying to get Donald Trump, number one, and number two, trying to decapitate the Republican Party and the conservative movement. They went after Charlie Kirk, of course, as well, and TPUSA. So we've got to get to the bottom of this. We do need hearings. We need congressional hearings. People need to be issued subpoenas. And, Steve, this all needs to be done in public. The American people need to see the truth here. I'm tired of this behind closed door stuff. We just had another closed door briefing yesterday. Fine. This needs to be done in public. The American people deserve to know.
You know, Andrew Bailey, another great one from Missouri, is now helping Cash over at FBI, but we're strapped with manpower. Is your call like the war rooms to say, look, you got so much going on in Main Justice, you got so much going on in the FBI, we need a special prosecutor that just focuses on this. Is that getting any real traction?
Boy, I hope so. I mean, I continue to beat the drum on that, and you put it exactly right. I mean, we need somebody who is 100% dedicated to this and has a team of prosecutors, I emphasize prosecutors, dedicated to this. Until we get some accountability, I don't have any confidence that this won't happen again. Heck, I don't have any confidence it's not happening right now. Not because I don't trust Cash, but because I do not trust the deep state. And, you know, the FBI is a big place. DOJ is a big place. We saw this in Trump term number 1. These people.
Let me tell you this, everybody. I love what you're seeing here and what you're about to see next, because we are layering how crazy the federal government is when it comes to trying to protect the deep state. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. You will not believe how much is going on behind the scenes, and we're trying to show you all the breaking news because this news affects you, everybody. This is how big it is. Listen to this one part right now, how badly people within the deep state are trying to protect illegal aliens big time to continue giving them taxpayer benefits.
country, and the Democrats will continue to abuse it. They sued the USDA for simply asking them to tell them how many illegal aliens are on the programs in California and New York and these other states. They sued them. You need to take account of what people are doing here in each party, the leaders and the President of the United States. We are trying to get government to work more efficiently and effectively for the people, and we are getting stopped and hindered by political games by Democrats. And that's why we're so frustrated as a country.
So you tell me that when the Democrats are suing the USDA for trying to figure out how many illegal aliens are receiving welfare, this is where it gets to the courts. This is where we are exposing them like nobody's business. How in the world, and this is happening in California, New York, and other blue states where they rely so heavily on migrant votes. I promise you they are. We're finding it out for the Democrats to win. That's how crazy this is, guys. And I'm telling you, we're only getting started on uncovering all of this.
Burrow in there. They do all kinds of nefarious stuff, and it takes us years to uncover it. We right now have control. The American people deserve full and total transparency, and we ought to give it to them.
Senator Hawley, the Schumer shutdown, I think the way I look at it, we're winning. They haven't really changed their position. They still got these radical ideas about trillions of dollars for illegal alien health care, and they try to spin it every different way. What's the latest status? Because I think it looks like some Democratic senators are starting to sweat bullets here, sir.
Well, I hope they are starting to sweat bullets, because now, I mean, their games are really hurting people, Steve. They're hurting real people. Our military, our law enforcement, our air traffic controllers now can't get paid. TSA agents can't get paid. But how about this? 42 million Americans who are in need, including about 650,000 Missourians who rely on federal food assistance. They're not going to get it starting this weekend. They're going to get nothing. They're not going to be able to feed their kids. These are good people. Many of them are working people who in this economy, because of, to go back to the free traders from just a second ago, because of what the free traders and the globalists did to our economy, so many of our good working people can't make ends meet. They need the assistance. And starting Saturday, they're not going to be able to buy food. Whose fault is that? The Democrats. I think they're starting to realize that. The public knows it. And I just continue to plead with the Democrats. I don't know what you're trying to do. We are not going to give health care to illegals. Stop punishing the American people and stop denying food to needy children in this country. This has gotten way out of hand.
They're not backing off. Is there any real negotiations? Because these guys won't back off their core tenets of the medical assistance, the $1 trillion for the illegal aliens. Is there any then real negotiations going on?
I mean, if there are, I'm not aware of them. And listen, they're going to have to face reality, they being the Dems, which is that we are not going to give health care to illegal aliens. We are not going to take food out of the mouths of Americans, which is what they are doing now. Think about this. They are taking food out of the mouths of American children in order to try to give health care to illegals, in order to try to give welfare to illegals. Social Security, Medicaid to illegals. You want to bankrupt those programs? Just keep giving them to illegals. We've drawn a red line in the sand, or at least I have, and we ought to be clear that that is non-negotiable. We are not negotiating on that. The Democrats need to face reality, face up to the facts of what the American people want, and they need to say it's time to start supporting the American people and putting them first.
Let me tell you this, everybody. If this isn't massive, what Trump is pushing forth now, he's posted because of the fact that the Democrats have gone stone cold crazy. The choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and make America great again. Let me know your thoughts on what should happen, because again, too, this is about as big as it gets. I never thought we'd be hearing President Trump say this stuff, because again, right now, under the Democrats, under Obamacare, under all this stuff, look at the craziness of how much premiums for health insurance have rose. SNAP, all this stuff is more expensive. Everything, all the inflation, all the extra spending has boiled down to this. This is literally, when it comes even to people that work, surveys showing the exponential increase in how much money is being spent on healthcare from 2018 from 2010 all the way to 2025. Look how much it's gone up. This has been insane. This is literally doubled in a matter of only 15 years. You cannot make this stuff up. The health insurance across the board is super expensive. It's sickening, and that's why, again, I want to go real quick into our sponsor, everybody, because this is so big. When you see this exponential increase in healthcare cost, when we know that the DOJ has filed a false claims act against 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers alleging unlawful kickbacks and discrimination against disabled Americans, we know that health insurance has gone up exponentially. This is why, again, we partnered with this company that literally does this for free, everybody. If you're on Medicare, you can call them up, 667-895-3015. They're going to get you taken care of for free. They've saved seniors on average $1,100 per year. They compare every single Medicare plan out there. And we've told you and we've shown you live, and I show you the receipts because this matters. When you see that, how many Medicare plans are there in the United States? We asked the question. I'll refresh the page. 3,719. This is insane. And that's why this is such an amazing company. They've literally saved somebody on this channel, Jeannie Wright. What a blessing. $230 a month on health insurance, over $2,700 a year. They saved another person $1,400 a year. And it's free, everybody. It takes less than 20 minutes. You tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number is 667-895-3015. They're going to get you taken care of because, again, there's just too much, to me, corruption and a lot of craziness that has happened that has not been America first. And now that we're unveiling all of this, now that we're starting to see the truth, it is more important than ever for us to be able to work together and you to be able to get the most help that you can so that we can win together. America first, baby. That's what this is all about. Because when you hear this right here, it is insane what is coming out right now. And I'm thankful because, again, we get to show you the truth. We get to show you what is actually happening behind the scenes. Listen to this.
And this morning, we want to speak specifically about the millions of American families that are going to feel real hardship because of the SNAP benefits drying up. And we have no one less than the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, who's in charge of that program, that will speak directly to that issue. But I want to begin first with just a word of sincere gratitude. Across this country, we've got millions of federal workers who have been showing up at the office every day without pay. This has drug on for a month now. Those federal workers have shown up for a month straight, not knowing when or if their next paycheck will be delivered. They're doing their jobs, and they're doing it valiantly, while the Senate Democrats simply refuse to do their job. Their most simple and basic responsibility is to keep the government in operation so that we can keep the services flowing to the American people and keep the country moving. But they're not doing that. So we just want to say to these federal workers, like the hundreds of civilian employees who are also spread throughout the country, like the ones in my district, for example, at the Bain Jones Army Community Hospital down at Fort Polk, our big Army base there. We just want to say thank you for your diligence, for doing your job, for your service to the country, even though Democrats are withholding your paycheck. They are shameless in doing so. Throughout this shutdown, President Trump and his administration have done everything in their power, as we relay to you here every day, example after example. They've done everything they can to mitigate and reduce the harm to the American people. He's gone out of his way to find creative solutions to ensure our service members don't miss a paycheck, for example, to ensure that the WIC program, that the nutrition assistance to women, infants, and children is still flowing. President Trump has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that if there is any way to fund these programs that are drying up now, that he will do it. If there was any way to fund SNAP during the Democrat shutdown, you can be assured that your commander-in-chief would do it.
And I want to show you this, everybody, because I'm telling you, people across the aisle, and if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is massive. across the aisle, this is what John Fetterman said. He apologized for the Democrats not getting their crap together and opening the government. He even came out and said, I'm apologizing that we can't even get our crap together. It's an absolute failure. What occurred here for the last month, and now things are really going to land. It's been a month. Like, this is insane. The Democrats have not moved an inch. They want their Obamacare subsidies. They want Medicaid health insurance for illegals. They want to have slush funds going back overseas. And yet people here in the United States, SNAP recipients, need their help, and they can't get it because the Democrats, and we've already shown you on this channel, in their bill, have said, we want billions for overseas. You let me know where their priority is at.
But we are now reaching a breaking point. Thanks to Democrats voting no on government funding now 14 different times, SNAP benefits for millions of American families are drying up. It's about 1 in 8 people in this country who rely upon this to literally put food on their table. And the blame for this lies 100% with the senators sitting over there on the Democrat Party. They are the ones who have locked arms and decided over and over and over and over, 14 times now, to vote against these services being provided. And now I want you to think about that. You're going to have real people, real families. You're going to have children who will go hungry beginning this weekend when those resources dry up. They rely upon that, and yet the Democrats continue with their political games in Washington while people are sitting around the dinner table without the resources that they need. The administration has done all it can to keep this program afloat, but the limits have been reached here. And what are the Democrats doing today? Where are the Democrats? Are they in the Senate today? No, they're out campaigning. While critical SNAP benefits run dry, the Democrats have skipped town. They've abandoned their post in the Senate, and the reason that's so important and noteworthy for the American people is the Senate is the only place where this can end.
Yep.
The last hope of reopening the government before millions of Americans go hungry. They've abandoned their post. Democrats are now this is the incredible part, they're now trying to somehow blame Republicans for cutting off SNAP when Republicans, remember, are the ones who have voted 14 times for the SNAP benefits to flow. It's the
And again, everybody, we're at the breaking point. Trump would not have come out and said it's time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster. Get rid of it now. This is about as big as it gets, everybody. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments, because again, this could backfire really bad on the Republicans if we lose the midterms or the presidential election. Yeah, everybody, thank you so much, Veronica Miskey, for being a member for a month. Let's go. And don't forget to show Tammy Ash some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for y'all's support. Right here, Marjorie Taylor Greene on Liberty Score. You can go check it out. It's a thing that grades everybody on how conservative they are. She has a perfect 100% A. Now, let me tell you this, everybody. From the beginning, she has said, use the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster. And if people would have listened to her, they would have been done a long time ago. But nobody knew that the Democrats would go this far over a month now. We're going to be over a month in allowing this shutdown to continue. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. She literally said, this is her post, there are pathetic Republican men, mostly paid social media influencers, attacking me for going on the Bill Maher show in The View. Here is my voting card, and nothing has changed about me. I'm 1,000,000% America only. Guys, this is getting insane what we're seeing. Let me know your thoughts. And again, all the facts right here. Here's the receipts. Listen to this.
Can I respond?
Sure.
I just very quickly, I have not spoken to the president either since last night, but let me say this. I've been next to him for almost 9 or 10 years now. He is so resolutely focused on delivering for the American people all day, every day, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. This is what he is thinking about. And as the world's greatest deal maker from his perspective, the way he thinks out of the box as a businessman, is how do we end this nonsense? And how do we, again, open the government? And how do we support these families that need support?
Yeah, go ahead. I'd already called on him. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Madam Secretary, question to you. So I know you addressed the contingency fund, but SNAP has never run out of funding in its 60-year history. That's right. During shutdown. Why were past administrations able to find funding to keep it afloat in a shutdown that you can't?
Well, let me see. I've got a chart I want to show you all on the SNAP funding. My charts are slightly wanky because our print shop is closed because we're furloughed. So it was a little arts and crafts time over at USDA early this morning. So this is the chart of the SNAP program. Now, I know everyone can't see this, but this goes back to October of 2023. And I want everyone to follow. This is the red line that under Joe Biden, you see an almost 30% increase in the cost of the SNAP program over the 4 years that President Biden and the USDA was overseeing it with Congress funding it. And you see now the downward trend since President Trump was reelected November, and we've had about 650,000 people move off of SNAP since President Trump was elected. A press conference for another time. That's obviously the goal of all these programs, is to move families into real work and the dignity of that. I say that because...
Let me tell you this. If we don't bring the dang receipts, everybody, you want to know why it went up during the Biden administration? Is because during the Biden administration, they reallocated funds for illegal migrants, gave them prepaid cards, and this is a per person per day, okay? Per person, if you're a legal migrant, you got $12.52 per day. If you were a regular SNAP recipient, you got $7.59 per day. Now you tell me, where is the priority at? Because it right here explicitly shows you it was not American citizens. All this stuff that we're exposing, everything has been, just corruption upon corruption upon corruption. The DOJ launched an investigation into the leaders of the Black Lives Matter for potentially defrauding donors out of tens of millions of dollars. All this stuff that we've seen during the Biden administration has all been a bunch of you-know-what, everybody. And I'm sick and tired of seeing this where we are trying to fight for America first, and we are fighting against people that are fighting for America last policies, and I don't get it how most people don't see this. This should be a common sense thing. Lori Rapier, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, even a small light will always overpower the darkness. Be a light to others. Amen. Let's go. Show Lori some love in the chat, everybody. OG of the channel, as well as our girl, Alice Lewis, helper of the channel with the likes. People don't realize Democrats came up with this nuclear deal and used it in 2013. It's backfiring on them. Amen. Show Alice and Lori some love in the chat, everybody. OGs of the channel. And don't forget to show Tammy Ash some love. And if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, we are bringing it today. All this stuff that we're finding out, that huge increase that you just saw where the SNAP is going down. Remember, Trump just removed 90,000 non-citizens in America from receiving SNAP welfare benefits, okay? This is what the Democrats planned. They allowed an invasion. They gave them every single dang benefit that they could, and now we're rolling it back, and they can't stand it.
The astronomical costs of the SNAP program under Joe Biden was historical. It was unprecedented, and we don't have the same levels of funding that were there in the past. And by the way, for 1 month, we have band-aided and bubble-gummed and duct-taped this deal to get this 1 month of funding in for SNAP, the $9 billion. Thank you.
Quick follow-up. Because reality is setting in for a lot of people this weekend. So what do you say to the millions of people who stand to lose their food stamp benefits? What should they do?
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you right now. That poverty is not red or blue. It is not a Republican or Democrat issue. doesn't matter who you voted for or even if you voted, that if you are in a position where you can't feed your family and you're relying on that $187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program, that we have failed you. But I think what's so important, and this is why we keep hammering this, the Republicans have voted over and over and over again to open this government so that these funds don't stop. And for 14 different times, the Democrats have said, no, we are going to hold hostage the most vulnerable families in this country so that we can get our left-wing radical agenda into the government and the governing structure. And to that, President Trump, Speaker Johnson, Majority Leader Thune have said absolutely not. And we're very grateful for that. Please vote yes. We implore the Democrats in the Senate to vote yes to get this government open and these people the benefits that they need to feed their families.
It is insane, everybody. Again, like, we're bringing you the receipts. The stuff that is coming out today is insane. Just as we are seeing now, it's all political. It's all political. Just as predicted, now Senate Democrats look to end the federal government shutdown, likely after Tuesday's election, per Axios. All a political game, being politics with the American people. And I hope so bad that enough Democrats, enough people see this and say, you know what? They were playing with us. They were playing games with us. That's all they did. Show Jim Barbado some love in the chat, everybody. Let's go. We appreciate you so much, brother. OG of the channel. I love it. This right here, I'm telling you, the stuff that's coming out and what is about to happen next, this nuclear option, the filibuster, this is big. Listen to this.
And for more, let's bring in Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry. Congressman, great to talk to you again. Let's get right to it. The president bringing home, call it the yen, the yuan, the bacon, the moolah, whatever it is, but bringing home investments that, while the shutdown will end, will continue to result in more jobs, more investment, more business transactions. That's a big long-term play. I say that's an advantage for the Republicans.
It's an advantage not only for Republicans, but more importantly, it's an advantage for the whole country. And what's on display is the fact that it's easier for the president to reach deals with the communist leader of China or with the terrorists in the Middle East than it is with the Democrats in Washington, D.C. And let's not forget, this is the exact same bill that they not only voted on, but voted for in March. It was good enough in March, but now it's October, almost November, and now it's not good enough anymore. People are going hungry. And at the same time, we had a rally last week where we said, that President Trump is a king. But, if President Trump were a king, he would just wave his magic wand and all these things would be fixed. It requires the legislature to be there, and they don't want to be there. He can't have it both ways. You can't say he's a king and then say that he can't, that he can't do anything because you won't let him. Which one is it?
So, Congressman, there's been a little bit of talk in the last 24 hours that maybe some Democrats on Capitol Hill are starting to make their way back to opening up the government. I'm not sure if they want to make it to the 34-day deadline or record for the longest government shutdown ever, but you saw a lot of pressure today at the White House from the United Airlines CEO calling for Democrats to vote to open the government. Delta is now getting on board. In Georgia, of course, is their headquarters. 2 Democratic senators there. I know that you're on the House side, but are you hearing anything about which Democrats are maybe thinking of coming to their senses and opening up the government?
Well, I think that all of them are really thinking about it, especially as SNAP benefits fail to go out. And I live in Pennsylvania, where our governor could literally use the rainy day fund, but is acting like he can't do anything to fix it. And of course, people that are suffering are saying, hey, this is enough of this carrying on. What's on the other side of this? Like, why are you shutting the government down? They don't even understand why. They don't get that Chuck Schumer's afraid of AOC and that Hakeem Jeffries is afraid of his primary opponent. Well, people are going without on Halloween. They don't think it's worth it.
Congressman, And to pick up on what you're talking about with the gap possibility for the states, where SNAP funding runs out, states that have been responsible and are willing can actually pay that gap difference if they're able. Problem is, I started analyzing the states, and blue states with long-term unfunded liabilities, pension fund contribution problems, and more don't have that ability. So Democrat failures are piling on top of this with the government shutdown.
Yeah, they're just making matters worse. Not only.
Let me tell you this, everybody. You cannot negotiate. And I don't know where this takes our country to, because I'm telling you, what I'm about to show you next, you're not even going to believe it exists, because it is so insane. You cannot make this stuff up, okay? In New York, and this all, remember, because a lot of people say, well, they're using city funding or they're using state funding. Let me tell you this, money is money. Money gets shuffled around, money gets moved around. Money can go from bank account to bank account. If it comes in the federal, through the federal, then they can use it for, regardless of whatever, because we don't audit state funding. New York City is spending over $65 million on trans-only homeless shelters, whose residents get yoga classes, culinary classes, and are loved upon. Aces Places is the first fully taxpayer-funded shelter to only house transgender and gender non-conforming people. A shelter that cost $433,000 per bed. Go fact check me, guys. This is real, okay? $65 million on a trans-only homeless shelter. And again, it doesn't stop there with the craziness. People are posting things like this online. It's disgusting. It's sick. Dressing up as Trump and with the MAGA hat and all that, and literally having a bullet hole right between the head, right between the eyes. Now you tell me, everybody, where in the world does this make sense as something that is okay out there to be dressing up like that in front of people and just as a costume? It's sickening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, we're showing you again, how do you negotiate with, this is where their minds are at, the far left ideologies. PDX67, let's go with the 5 TrueLife News gifted memberships. If you got a free membership from PDX67, Richard, show him some love in the chat. This is big. I love it. Growing our voice, growing our family. This is why it's so important, everybody. Trump says just go ahead and play the Trump card. Nuke the filibuster, get the government back open, and put America first. B1 Sly One, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said, no trick, just a little treat for you and your family, brother. Have a safe Halloween. I love it. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Moderator of the channel, OG of the channel, our boy B1 Sly One. Show him some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jim Barbato. Hey, bringing out the weights, right? Bringing out the weights, brother. I love it. Show Jim some love in the chat, as well as Linda Foe. Thank you so much for your support. Longtime member of the channel, OG, said, Joel, I worked for a program called ACP. It was to give low income a discount on their internet bill. They would send in their ID or passport. I seen illegals getting there were 5,560 to 7,000. I seen Americans getting $10. Are you kidding me? Again, from a own person in the chat, we've already shown you and proven this, and this just validates it even more. Stepping over Americans to give illegals the benefits. Show Lynn Defoe, our boy Jim, B1 Sly One, and Richard PDX67 some love in the chat.
For citizens that are struggling to get by, but for themselves coming into next year's election. They're going to be on the ballot too, and they're going to have to explain this. I come from Pennsylvania, and we have a surplus here, but Governor Shapiro is out running for president as opposed to being here fixing the SNAP problem, which he could do temporarily until his colleagues in the Senate. And look, John Fetterman's from Pennsylvania. He's voting to open the government over and over and over again, but his friends in other states that should be doing it refuse to because they want the leverage.
All right, new Democrat whining. Of course, that's to be expected. His benefits are set to dry up on Saturday, right, Katie? Yeah. And the new talking point just dropped. Republicans are starving the children. Watch this.
The President of the United States has a new MAHA agenda. Instead of Make America Healthy Again, it's the Make America Hungry agenda.
Trump is telling 15 million hungry children, eat dirt.
He is prepared to let millions and millions of children and their parents and grandchildren go hungry because he sees maybe there is a political gain in that.
Do you see that though, everybody? Again, this is what's always happened with Congress. They need to keep we're already $38 trillion in debt. The Democrats try to come in and put it on the children and the women and the seniors. And they say they're leaving them starving and hungry. Okay, so what is keeping y'all from signing it? Well, the Republicans won't pass or won't add our $1.5 trillion in spending. There's always a money catch with the Democrats, and that's what gets me so mad. Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is where my passion really hits hard because I care about the truth and I care about doing what's right. And you don't hold people hostage to get what you want. And that's what the Democrats are doing right now. They want their money so they won't pass the clean CR. That's where we're at right now in America with the Democrats. How do you negotiate with that?
Oh, yeah? Well, they're saying the kids are hungry, but then explain the kids getting all this candy at the White House, Congressman.
Well, look, it's disgusting. We passed it on a bipartisan basis in the House. If Leader Schumer doesn't want to vote for it, that's fine. Cut loose 7 other Democrats, including the one from Pennsylvania that will vote for it, and let's move on from this. We passed the SNAP benefits, the WIC benefits, paying our air traffic controllers, paying the military. All that passed on a bipartisan basis in the House of Representatives. Once again, it is the same bill that they voted for in March. If you could vote for it in March, my goodness, why can't you vote for it in October and November? Nobody understands it, least of which people in the House that passed this 41 days ago.
It's actually a Biden bill as well. So there's that part of it as well.
That's the worst part about it too. It's literally Biden's bill that now the Democrats want to continue adding to it. I'm for it. You know what? Go ahead, get rid of the filibuster. Do everything that you can to secure the elections. Put America first and let's win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. SF Warfrat, welcome to the family. Let's go. Show SF Warrat some love in the chat, as well as Robert Cash said that kind of stuff, they should be arrested. Amen. Show our boy Robert some love in the chat, everybody, as well as Kimberly Revis. Let's go. Upgrading her membership. I love it. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Show Kimberly, SF Warfrat some love in the chat, as well as our boy Robert Cash. Again, this next thing that I want to show you, everybody, is one step closer on how in the world do we continue to expose stuff like this and people think, oh no, this is okay. It's all on the Republicans. It is a big fat lie. Listen to this.
Upside to this shutdown is that millions of Americans right now are seeing just the size and scale of the scam that is the SNAP program in this country. 17 million in 2000 were on this program. 43 million today. 1 in 8 Americans are on it. More than half of our immigrant population is on some form of welfare. The dole is now...
Did you hear that? More than half of our immigrant population is on welfare here in the United States.
Loaded with able-bodied people who are laying around collecting free goodies from this government, and I'm glad a lot of people are seeing it.
Well, unfortunately, that was a major agenda item for the Biden administration and for Democrats, is that they want as many people as possible dependent on the federal government, and they also, in particular, the open borders they had for 4 years. Over 12 million illegal aliens came into this country, and they allowed this country to be invaded. They released violent criminals and murderers and rapists and gang members, and every single day Americans were being killed, women were being raped, children were being assaulted by criminal illegal aliens that Joe Biden and the Democrats had released, and a very large percentage of those illegal immigrants ended up also on government welfare, and it was ultimately about power. They looked at every one of those illegals as a future Democrat, and so the massive expansion of these programs sadly was by design and was pursuant to their political agenda.
That's exactly why the borders were open, because you're going to bring in a lot of people that are going to need something from the government, and they'll always vote for more government, and that party is the Democrat Party. This was simply a power move. It's treasonous. It's one of the most horrible things you can possibly do to a country, but that shows you a lot about the Democrat Party and how much they really care about the health of the country. There's a lot of videos talking about how many recipients are just selling their EBT cards to pay for nails, to pay for hair, etc. There's a lot of these viral videos going around, and there's a lot of people saying, a lot of people calling it out, saying, I know people that are on this. They take the money from the government, they sell it so they can get all the other goodies. What amount of fraud do you think is in this program?
Yeah, look, I think there's very significant fraud, and every time Congress tries to address it, tries to put in checks to prevent fraud, to catch fraud, the Democrats fight tooth and nail. The only reasonable inference from that is the Democrats want fraud. They're perfectly happy. They'd be happy with 42 million becoming 60 million, become 80 million, becoming $100 million, or 100 million people. Why? Because it's, as you noted, everyone they can make dependent on the government. The Democrats believe those voters will vote for Democrats and more government forever. And everything for today's Democrats is secondary to staying in political power.
You cannot make this up, guys. Again, it's the facts, it's the receipts, everybody. And this is the thing. When I show you this chart right here and I say, look, when Biden got into office, there was an exponential increase in what? In the food stamp and spending. Why? Because illegal migrants were getting all this SNAP benefits, right? And a lot of people would say, we don't care. This is what I'm seeing on the left. We don't care because we're feeding people, and it is our duty to help feed people. You're looking at the problem after the problem, okay? The problem is that we let people in that came in here illegally, did not come in the right way. And because of that, they caused another issue because, again, there's only so much money. Like, there is a blank, like, they feel like a blank check, $38 trillion in debt. The government, guess what? Whenever they have to print more money, does what? Causes inflation. So that's where non-common sense people don't see this, is that I don't care how you're trying to say, we're trying to save people. What you're doing is you're hurting everybody whenever you have an influx of people and you give things away for free, because it's never for free. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm so sick and tired of the gaslighting. Let me know your thoughts.
Quick, do you think the government will reopen before SNAP runs out? Because right now, if you look at the way that Americans see this thing, Democrats can't let themselves be the reason that their welfare voters can't get their goodies this weekend. And right now, that's the way the American people see it. If Republican polling's going up, I feel like Democrats have got to capitulate before Saturday.
Yeah, I got to say, I'll be surprised if they do capitulate before Saturday. And we're so divided, we're so tribalized that each party is in their own echo chamber. And I think the Democrats are listening to their radical base. They're listening to their crazies that were out at the No Kings rallies. Yeah. And so I think at a very minimum, the Democrats are going to keep this shutdown going through Election Day next Tuesday. There's a gubernatorial election in Virginia, gubernatorial election in New Jersey. And I think the Democrats at a minimum want to get through Election Day. We might see the shutdown end next week. They might keep it going on even longer because they're only listening to the radical base and not their own constituents who they're hurting with the shutdown.
Got two more questions for you. They got to be quick because I'm running out of time, but I want to get your answer on both of them. The Court of Appeals striking down this Illinois judge Sarah Ellis's order mandating that the Border Patrol, one of the top guys of the Border Patrol, Greg Bongino, appear in her court daily. They have finally struck down. This was the most egregious example of lawfare I have ever seen. Bongino had to go to her court every day simply because he tried to repel people throwing rocks at him.
Yeah, look. There are radical judges across this country, mostly put on the bench by either Joe Biden or Barack Obama, who are waging war on President Trump and the Trump agenda. And we've seen nationwide injunctions. Thankfully, the Supreme Court reined that in. And you see single judges trying to subvert the president's policies and the agenda that the American people voted for, and it's complete abuse of power. And so I'm glad her decision got overturned.
Let me show you this, because this just broke a couple of minutes ago. Everybody from X Alerts, this you cannot make up. Oh my goodness. If you appreciate what we're doing and bringing this breaking news, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much for your support. Confirmed, everybody. Text messages emerge revealing Democrats offering cash for votes in Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, this is confirmed. This just came out moments ago. I'm telling you guys, we beat mainstream media so many times with the breaking news. Confirmed, text messages emerge revealing Democrats offering cash for votes in North Carolina, Wilmington elections. This is about as crazy as it gets. We know what's happening. They can't hide it anymore. We're exposing it all. Let me know. I love this.
I want to ask you about Arctic frost. We had an update today on this investigation, much more far-reaching than initially understood, as the DOJ was looking into senators, spying on senators. More than 160 Republicans and Trump-aligned figures were targeted in search of crimes wrapped around the election in January 6th. You were one of those. Chuck Grassley earlier, take a listen.
I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least 11 members with Verizon accounts were affected. That includes a hard line for Senator Cruz's office and a staffer's cell phone for former Senator Loeffler.
So they tried to subpoena Verizon to tap the office phone in your office?
Well, to get the phone records, and they also subpoenaed AT&T to get my cell phone records. And I'll tell you, AT&T did the right thing. They refused to comply with the subpoena. Their legal counsel concluded that it was protected by the speech and debate clause of the Constitution. But you know, one of the things that is amazing, along with that subpoena they sent to AT&T, they also included an order from Judge Boasberg, who's one of these left-wing radical judges who's issuing nationwide injunctions. Judge Boasberg ordered AT&T, do not tell Cruz we are subpoenaing his cell phone records. Why? And he makes a conclusion. He says, because I conclude if he's informed, Cruz will destroy or tamper with evidence and intimidate witnesses. That is utterly without factual basis. It is a complete abuse of judicial power. And I've called on the House of Representatives to impeach Judge Boasberg. The Constitution, when Judge Boasberg decided to become a partisan warrior and be part of the most egregious abuse of power, this is Joe Biden's Watergate. And I believe the House should impeach Judge Boasberg, and I also think we are going to get to the bottom of every partisan who signed off on surveilling and spying on 20% of the Republicans in the Senate. That's what Joe Biden and their DOJ did.
It's wild, these judges. Senator Ted Cruz, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Let me tell you this, everybody. Again, you cannot, because I'm seeing stuff come across around all this voting, over the tariffs and things like that, because this is all the stuff having to do with the federal interest rates, having to do with tariffs. All this is affects everybody in some form or fashion. But I want to show you again that the U.S. Senate voted to terminate President Trump's sweeping global tariffs 51-47. Okay? Republicans sided with the Democrats. Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, Rand Paul, and Lisa Murkowski to side with the Democrats to try and overturn Trump's global tariffs. Now, again, remember, Mike Johnson has already come out and said that, hey, it ain't happening. We're gonna block it if it tries to come to the House, and we're not gonna codify that into law. Because, again, we're just showing you where people's voting patterns are. When I look at this, I'm just like, dang it, man. When you see, like, I'm all for being fiscally responsible, but when Trump and that's what Rand Paul has always been. Let's pay down the debt. Let's be more fiscally responsible. Trump does something that actually brings in more money to help pay down the debt, and now Rand Paul's like, no, stop it. What does that say about Rand Paul and all the stuff that's happening with the feds? Listen to this.
at this meeting, there were strongly differing views about how to proceed in December. A further reduction in the policy rate at the December meeting is not a foregone conclusion. Far from it. Policy is not on a preset course.
Okay, Fed Chair Jerome Powell throwing some cold water on investor hopes for more rate cuts this year, saying the board was deeply divided on how to proceed. But the central bank did cut on Wednesday, bringing interest rates below 4% for the first time since 2022. All right, Larry, you can go anywhere you want to go on this. What happened yesterday, what it means for markets, what the future holds when Jay Powell doesn't have that job. Dealer's choice.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with what I think he said, that we don't know about December. We don't know about December because we don't know about September or October or November, for that matter. You know, there's a dearth of information that presumably the Fed uses. I mean, we know what markets are saying. The Atlanta Fed is saying 3.9 in the third quarter, ending in September. I hope he's not making that decision just because it looks like the economy is strong. You know, the Fed has a phobia about growth. Growth does not cause inflation. It does not. On the other hand, you know, the last CPI we got was not a fabulous. I know it was below the street and triggered a rally. But the 3-month change for both the top line and the core was 3.6% at an annual rate with a target of 2. And the 12-month change was 3.0 for both with a target of 2. So in that sense, I'm not completely at loggerheads. I mean, we need, now, energy prices seem to be coming down, gasoline prices seem to be coming down, shelter prices seem to be coming down. So by the time we get to December, if we have good information, it may be time to cut again. Okay, inflation will be a lot lower. But I'm just saying
But
right now, I'm not crazed over it.
He also knows that when he speaks, markets react. They reacted yesterday. In the Urban Dictionary, they have this word, flexing. I think he was flexing his power, still saying, I'm in charge here, letting Trump know that, letting the market know that. He could have just sat on this uncertainty and done whatever they're going to do in December. If they get more data and things change, they can do that. He didn't have to say what he said yesterday.
Lawrence thinks he might have been inadvertent. It was a response to a question, wasn't it? He kind of popped it out. So we're polling the next Fed chair, because we need a new Fed chair. And I'm just going to quickly, the Twitter X, which we're polling on Twitter X and Instagram, many more votes on Twitter X. The leading candidate, according to this so far, is Kevin Walsh.
Okay.
Number two actually was me and a write-in.
Hey, let's talk about that.
Number 3 was Kevin Hassett, another brilliant guy. And Scott Bessent was, he may have been tied or close to Hassett as the third. I mean, a lot of people, on my panel last night, I had Steve Forbes and John Carney, and I did the riff on who should be Fed chair and why we need a supply sider running the Fed, tax cuts and tight money. And both my panelists said Bessent. They didn't. There are 5 candidates, according to Mr. Bessent. Both my panelists, Steve Forbes and John Carney, said Bessent.
Do you see that? I'm telling you, this Scott Bessent dude is a G when it comes to all this stuff concerning monetary. I mean, when you're talking about Trump's friends and how much they're making an impact and how much people like them, especially at the high level when it comes to getting the economy back on track. This is huge, everybody. Pamela Connolly, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, stop paying the Senate if other hardworking Americans are not getting paid. Amen, Pamela. Show Pamela some love in the chat. I'm with it, everybody. Let's nuke the filibuster. If we can make and codify enough laws to protect our elections and protect America First policies, then we're okay. I know that like we just have to make sure that to set the precedence right now, we cannot continue to go on a government shutdown for God knows how long. Something has to be done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate everything that we're doing on here, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. I want to give some special love to those that are members of the channel, those that are subscribers. If you're not a part of our family yet, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want to take care of you every single day with the breaking news. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Me and my family are so grateful we get to serve you every day with the breaking news. We bust our butts to give you the best show every day because it matters. The truth matters. That's why I thank you when you share our videos, you like our videos, share them on X, share them on Facebook, because it gets the truth out there. I want to give some special love to our boy Jim Barbato. Let's go, OG of the channel. Nelly Donnelly, Robert Cash, thank y'all so much for your support. Goober, thank you so much. El Prophet, our boy Richard, PDX67, let's go. Veronica Miskey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Our girl Lori Rapier, thank you so much. OG of the channel, show Lori some love in the chat. Alice Lewis, moderator, helper of the channel, thank you so much for your support. Pamela Conley with the gifted 5 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from Pamela, show her some love in the chat. I love it. Thank you so much for helping our giving. Show some special love to Tammy Ash and her son. Thank you so much, Tammy. God bless you and your son. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much, B1 Sly One, OG of the channel, member of the channel. Lynn Defoe, thank you so much for your support. No more handouts. Welcome to the family. Kimberly Revis, welcome to the family. No more handouts. Thank you so much for upgrading your membership. Tracy Markham, show Tracy some love in the chat, as well as Bat Osayx, hopefully I'm saying that right, who gifted a free membership. Show Bat, I feel like I'm butchering this. Batu Saix some love in the chats. BATTOUSAIX 1234. Some love in the chat. Thank you so much for all your support. And thank you everybody for helping us grow this family, grow our voice. And again, to those guys, this really hits my heart because there's a lot of people that are on fixed income that watch our channel. There's a lot of people that are on Medicare. And whenever I heard about, and I'm seeing the testimonials from some of our members and family that have gone and called Chapter, which helps you to get the best plan possible on Medicare. It's free, takes less than 20 minutes. When I hear people are saving over thousands of dollars, all I can think about is that's what it's supposed to be for. We're here to help you out, here to support you, give you every single tool that we can to help you live the best life that you can, save the most of your hard-earned money, and it's free, everybody. You call them up, you tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife. So again, it's open enrollment right now. If you're on Medicare, about to be on it, call 667-895-3015. The link is in the description. Tell them that Joel sent you, and I'm telling you, they're going to get you taken care of. When there is over 3,700 plans, how could somebody ever by themselves compare every single one of them? When you know that these health insurance companies have not done their best to serve you, that's why we partner with this company to take care of you. We love you, appreciate you all, and we'll see